You've come just in time, my diabolical dancer.
Not one move, villain!
Oh, so now you presume to command your master to the anima of an uncontrollable degenerate. A blunder that I intend to rectify imminently.
Ella! Not another move, I said!
Awaken to your new glorious being, Brousseau, and heed only the sound of my voice. Get rid of this nuisance once and for all! Done for, dancer! Ex nihilo ad nihilum! From nothing to nothing! Destroy Brousseau! This battle should never have existed! Ex nihilo ad nihilum. From nothing to nothing.
Hear your voice, Monsieur le Comte. Only your voice. Obey. I must obey. The dancer. Kill the dancer. Nom de chien. Aled! They're going to kill me!
It's all right. No one here wants to hurt you, Citoyen Brousseau.
Citoyenne Terragne, please. Help me.
Do not fear. She's right here.
Would one of you be so kind as to tell me what on earth is going on?
Don't be afraid, Pierre. We'll explain everything as soon as we're on our way.
Yes, you're right. Let's hurry to the Cordelier. Abbe Gregoire promised we would be safe there.
I can attest to that, Citoyen. The walls are impenetrable. And you will be in excellent company.
Will you come with us, Aegis?
Yes, let's go. We've spent too long in this gruesome place.
Dieu soit loué. Our dear Brousseau.
Pierre, you're safe and sound.
Mes amis, I was nearly lost. The Comte de Cagliostro was intending to add me to his tally. I owe my life to these two guardian angels.
No, Pierre. It's Aegis we should be lauding, and Aegis alone.
Please, stop. It's an unnecessary waste of all too precious time.
But I insist. Were it not for her, I would be lying in a potter's field at the Hôpital Saint...
Both fall into the Count's clutches.
My impetuous anger caused this unfortunate adventure. When I heard they'd been rounding up black people in Paris, my blood boiled. I rushed to the Châtelet to demand an explanation from Monsieur Thiroux de Crogne.
The Lieutenant General de Police? You went to see him without taking anyone with you?
No, of course not. I asked Mademoiselle Terouanne to act as my bodyguard.
I was to stay at a distance and help him if needed.
But it was all in vain. I was waiting to be received when all of a sudden, I was seized and thrown into an armored carriage.
A carriage that I discreetly followed to the Hôpital Saint-Louis, where Pierre was imprisoned. I immediately returned to Saint-André-des-Arts in search of help, but it was to no avail. I left a message on my door and went to the hospital, where my attempt to free Pierre quickly met with disaster. If Aegis hadn't answered my call, we would have been done for.
Bless you, ma chère. This time you haven't just freed an innocent man. You have also saved our cause. Thanks to you, there is still hope, and the fight continues.
Did you find the blueprints that were stolen from me?
No, Citoyen B.
Don't forget that those the looters disappeared into the... I find it hard to believe that they were able to escape.
Regarding Ludia's blueprints...
Were you able to get them?
No, Citoyen B.
Don't forget that those documents are our only chance to discover what was used to craft you. The looters disappeared into the tunnels under the Louvre and the Tuileries. I find it hard to believe that they were able to escape from that maze safely.
yourself, Claude. Just be thankful you got out alive. Et puis quoi? Don't you think it was worth it? This tunnel is a gold mine. With what we've managed to gather, we'll be set for a long time.
Looters from the observatory. Poor soul. They didn't stand a chance. Ludius blueprints. Fortunately, they are in perfect condition. Monsieur Bailly will be delighted. Citoyen Bailly.
Ah, mademoiselle. Well, what news?
Here are the blueprints you asked for.
Good heavens. You found them.
Your thieves were not able to profit much from their theft. They met with an unfortunate end.
Oh, the poor souls. Their crimes did not deserve such a permanent ending.
Certainly, certainly. Let us look at these documents now, if you will.
No, Antoine, the F-wheel is not part of the cog that transfers the driving force to the escapement.
Diable, you're right. It's driven by the B-wheel, and its axis is on the shaft that's visible at this point.
Precisely. In fact, the shaft sits between the conical bearing and the small groove here. See?
True. It's decided then. All we would have to do is separate these two plates to disable the entire thing.
And to put...
Alone. Half a league away.
You must be joking.
By no means. You'll have to find another solution.
Unfortunately, madame, you're asking us to do the impossible.
Oh, ça, par exemple.
Once your spirit is untethered from this automat, it will be impossible for you to start the machine up again.
Hold on, my dear Antoine. Is this device in Figure 4? Is it still in place?
Yes, it is. What of it?
Bon sang. It's a timer. It's primitive, true, but fully functional.
The dial has marks from 1 to 15. Probably minutes.
It was to allow Eugène to plan the duration of Ludia's dances in advance.
Oh, I see. And by reversing the position of this peg in the center, we could instead turn it into a period of inactivity.
Nous y sommes, mon ami. Fantastic.
Will Aegis be able to operate this device herself?
We'll make it easier for her. All you have to do is put a bolt there that she can remove when the time is right. Yes, a small iron rod will suffice. We won't have any trouble finding something that will do. When the timer dial reaches 0, the automat will come back to life. However, given the dial's fragility, we will probably get only one chance to try this.
Are you sure that the bond between my soul and this machine will be re-established?
Ma foi, I admit that we can't be sure of this. What do you say, mon père?
Don't be afraid, Aegis. Unless I've been wrong from the beginning, your soul will seek refuge in the only body it has available to it in this world.
Well then, shall we start the preparations?
Let's begin. My fate is in your hands, monsieur.
Voila. Everything is in place. When it's time, just pull on this metal loop to start the timer.
Remember, you will have 15 minutes and no more before your spirit returns to your body. We wish you good luck, madame.
Remember, to get to Rue de Montmorency, you're best going through the cemetery behind the Église Saint-Jacques in the Quartier de l'Hôtel de Ville. Here is the key to the gate. Our prayers are with you, my child.
Monsieur.
Zoons! Praise be to the Holy Mother of our Lord, at last thou speakest! Gentle dame, you have erred here for so long, not a word uttered. In singular contemplation of such terrible slaughter.
A long time, you say? That's not possible, sir. I've just now appeared to you.
Nay, thou must trust me. And thou wast hardly alone in this limbo. There were many travelers, stiff and silent, all in agony, all bound to the anchor stone.
What travelers do you speak of?
The first to arrive was a sobbing child, searching for his mother. After him, many a damned soul carrying their own heads in hand. Then, those whose thoughts passed through me. A minister of God tormented by doubt.
Hold on. A minister of God? Monsignor de la Fare?
A scholar with soul star-filled, and a learned master of alchemy.
Monsieur Bailly and Monsieur Lavoisier.
A usurer who shed so many tears for his lady.
Monsieur Necker, mourning his wife.
All bound to the anchor stone. Wretched souls, their ascension to the heavens repelled.
The anchor stone, monsieur?
Lapis philosophorum.
The philosopher's stone.
Aye! Vile knave who took it for his own lately. No count is he but that of trespass and perfidy.
Cagliostro.
Well met. The road for this varlet and I shall be avenged. The anchor stone keeps the travelers in this limbo and makes them masters of the Iron Titans. From the defunct springs the fire that burns inside these demons. Lanterns of the dead. Witchcraft of the blackest sort.
The terrible slaughter. You say I was just observing the massacres?
Aye. Vile, innumerable crimes. The devil's own accursed titans and their restless horde. They drinketh from the lake where the souls of the dead sleep. Men and women offered in sacrifice to feed the pyre. Then the terrible maw was opened, and in flowed legion of the dead. Ne'er hast I seen such and so many here during all my stay. The stone is verily mine dark confine. Lonely, so lonely, that mine vessel is no more, and my soul still cloistered in this place. Alack, I do despair of ever ascending to heaven. Gentle dame, I prithee do shatter mine stone.
You want me to break the stone that contains your soul? Is that what you're asking me to do?
Aye, my God, I beg thee.
Do you know where this stone is? You've been buried for more than 3 centuries, monsieur.
The precious jewel, sublime treasure, was inscribed in my legacy, my testament. On my tomb engraved, gentle dame, on the tomb!
What a strange encounter. I must tell Abbe Grégoire about it immediately.
Can I help you, Aegis?
I hope so, Abbot. Our salvation is at stake.
I am listening.
War.
Par tous les saints, Pierre Brissot was taken to the Hôpital Saint-Louis.
Why?
Who knows? No one knows what's been going on there since the king closed it 2 years ago.
After 2 centuries of use, the hospital buildings were in danger of collapsing, and the overcrowded, unsanitary cemeteries all around it were hardly conducive to curing the sick. Not to mention the nearby Montfaucon gallows, where the king could very well make hanged men dance once again.
Has he turned the hospital into a prison?
It's possible. He's lost count of his enemies. But he can't kill everyone, can he?
I'm afraid he has no other purpose, Abbot. He has declared war on the entire human race. The plan worked as we had hoped. My spirit left my body, and I traveled to the in-between.
This is extraordinary. It confirms all my theories.
You were right about the rest, too. Nicholas Flamel's soul had never left the in-between.
Mon Dieu, 4 centuries? What a fearsome fate. Were you able to speak with this unfortunate soul?
Yes, mon père. He claimed that I had been in purgatory for a long time, but had never spoken until then.
Please, go on.
He said he had met other visitors. Based on his descriptions, he was speaking of Monseigneur de la Fare, Minister Necker, Monsieur Bailly and Monsieur Lavoisier. They all seemed unaware of his presence. All bound to the Anchor Stone. Those were his words.
All those whom Cagliostro turned into his homicidal playthings. Yes, it is just as I thought. The subject has the impression of being the automat it is bound to, but his soul remains in the in-between world.
Mon père, Monsieur Flamel begged me to free him from purgatory. He has suffered for too long.
How can we help him?
If he is to be believed, we would simply have to break his stone.
Of course, the Philosopher's Stone. The Anchor Stone that keeps him in the in-between. But where could it be after all this time?
Look at this, mon père. These are Philosopher's Stones made by Cagliostro's hand. Do they look familiar?
Heavens, they do. Aegis. The ancient chalice of Saint-Jacques is adorned with a similar stone. It was entrusted to me by the parish priests, along with some other relics. I stored it in a reliquary chest in this very room. Here's the key. Go. Let us not waste a second more.
Goodbye, Abbot. Citoyen Lavoisier.
What can I do for you?
What is prussic acid?
It's a volatile compound extracted from Prussian blue, which is a pigment derived from the cochineal, an insect.
What does it do?
Oh, it's a lethal poison, of the most dangerous sort. Though at weaker doses, it merely induces a deep soporific state, or a coma, if you will.
A deadly poison. Mon Dieu. The poor child.
Aegis? Is everything all right?
Goodbye, Citoyen Lavoisier. Citoyen Bailly.
Ah.
Goodbye. Vive le na... Citoyen Robespierre.
Madame.
Is your plan to arm the populace going as planned?
Oh, far from it, Madame. The situation is hopeless. Even if they were armed and formed into battalions, the Patriots would not be able to fight.
Why is that?
Most of the strategic points in the city are inaccessible. A strange illness strikes all who try. They are seized by an irrational fear, one so great that those who do not lose consciousness go mad or perish on the spot. This makes it impossible to do anything. Any attempt at an uprising is a fool's errand.
The locations you mentioned share a common feature. A statue holding a lantern.
That's right. From what little I could make out, they appear to be depictions of a Vestal Virgin watching over the sacred fire.
Une lanterne des morts.
What do you mean, monsieur?
Lanterns of the dead. Ancient stone pillars that are found near some cemeteries. Our ancestors kept a fire going on top of them. Today, no one knows what they were used for. A symbol of light triumphing over darkness, perhaps? Others claim that human bones, mercury and lime, were burnt there. Some odious sorcery that was meant to entrap the tormented souls that wandered around the burial grounds.
That makes sense and confirms my observations. I'm now certain that the King's lanterns capture the anima essence of the dead who have been cast into purgatory. And that this essence is what allows the automats to stay in motion, without needing a key to wind them.
Pater noster qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum.
Now that I think about it, madame, you obviously are not subject to the harmful effects of these lanterns.
No, au contraire. When activated, these statues reveal an apparatus that allows me to repair myself.
It follows that if you destroy these lanterns, the people will be free to fight again.
Unfortunately, they are preternaturally strong. Nothing can so much as damage them.
Come now, no metal is indestructible. If we knew what these lanterns were made of, perhaps I could find a way to destroy them.
Where should I start looking?
Start by poking around the factories near Monsieur de Vaucanson's workshop. That's where the automats were forged. I'd wager the lanterns were made there as well.
Cagliostro kept this ledger where he wrote down some familiar names, including yours, Citoyen Brissot, and Citoyen Robespierre.
What does this mean?
These are the names of the men the tyrant deems to be his worst enemies. Those he decided to turn into machines.
Diable. So, my fate was sealed. I threw myself headlong into the lion's den.
But Aegis, how do you explain that my name appears on this list, even though I did not suffer the torment the king had planned for me?
I don't know, Citoyen Robespierre.
I'm not the only one, either. See for yourself. Monsieur de Mirabeau, the Marquis de Lafayette, Abbé Grégoire.
It's easy to explain, mes amis. You hold in your hands the proof that I was looking for.
What do you mean, mon père?
Monsieur de Robespierre, did Cagliostro come to see you in the past few days?
This brute did ask for an audience with me when I was in Versailles, but I refused to see him outright.
Good for you. I did the same when he asked to speak to me face to face. What about you, Monsieur Brissot?
Until today, I had never met the monster.
And I'd be willing to bet you don't remember a thing about it.
What? What are you saying, mon père? Have you lost your wits?
No, quite the contrary. I'm convinced that Cagliostro met each person whose souls he has bound to his machines.
Convinced? Your argument is a bit weak. Why not question his other victims here?
I have. And just as I thought, not one of them remembered having met him.
This makes no sense at all.
Wait just a moment, Maximilien. You'll soon understand. Using a number of ruses, Cagliostro recently spoke to each person whose name is on this list. When he met with his victims, he used an arcane science developed by Monsieur Mesmer, which he now seems to have mastered far better than his mentor. Suggestion.
What is it?
I wouldn't go so far as to call it black magic, but it is a way to weaken and shape a subject's mind in order to make them obey blindly, using only the power of the spoken word. After the victim's will is broken by means of some drug, you can make them do anything. Forget an event, for example, which explains your amnesia, Monsieur Brissot. Or follow the most heinous orders, such as murder. Do you understand now how the Count commands his death machines?
Yes. Cagliostro's power of suggestion made me his slave. My spirit animated the automat, but it would only obey that monster's voice.
Precisely, Monsieur Brissot. That's right.
The king turns his enemies into his pawns, and forces them to serve his evil purposes.
Quite right, Aegis. Look at what's written next to the names. Bishop, Rook, Knight. If you add the king and queen, then the pawns, which are the minor automats.
To the tyrant, this war is but a macabre game of chess.
Does he not know that he has already lost his queen? Without her, there's no hope of winning. Citoyen, we must work now to prepare the final blow that will ensure his defeat. Were you present when the estates
We met. At least we only had positively angelic.
Goodbye, Citoyen, and death to the tyrant. Here it is.
4 centuries, Aegis. 4 centuries. No mind can begin to comprehend what this poor man has suffered.
Is this the fate that awaits us? An eternity of silence and solitude?
Purgatory is just a stop on the journey, Monseigneur.
Oh, I would give anything to believe it again.
Monsieur Flamel, the time has come to set you free.
Seigneur, Dieu nous garde.
Oh, blessed maid who has broken my chains! Heavenly light! Oh, heavenly light! I shall become one with it!
Et cum haec dixis et videntibus illis elevatus est.
And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up.
Hallelujah! Purgatory is not the end. Do you know what that means, Abbot?
Before I say anything, I would like to take the time to consider the phenomenon we have just witnessed with a clear head.
You are mistaken. What we have just seen and heard makes us new apostles. From this day on, I will live only to share the good news of this divine manifestation.
Grand bien vous fasse, Monseigneur. We, however, shall focus on more earthly considerations. The fate of the kingdom, and the gruesome destiny of its people. Citoyen Leclos.
Can I help you, madame?
The representatives of the people are asking for your help, monsieur.
Who exactly are you talking about?
The patriots and representatives of the Third Estate who escaped the massacre.
I need names, madame.
Monsieur de Robespierre, Monsieur Lavoisier, the Marquis de Lafayette.
All these men have declared themselves enemies of the cause to which we have sworn allegiance to.
Is there any cause more important than saving the nation?
No, of course not. And what do these so-called defenders of the people want from me?
They believe they have found a way to neutralize the royal automats for good. And to do it, they beg you to give them one of the explosive cannonballs you invented.
Ma foi, if there is a way to stop these death machines, then I have a duty to assist them. But you must understand that I shall remain on my guard. When doing deals with the enemy, you must take precautions for when the game ends.
If that's how you feel, then by all means take steps to ensure your safety.
Let me think. Where are the representatives?
At the Couvent des Cordeliers.
Very well. Here's what we're going to do. I will go to the convent immediately and try to negotiate a truce. As for you, here is the key to a trunk in the next room. It contains a prototype of my cannonball, as well as the patents and pages that explain how to manufacture it. Bring all of this to me at the convent. However, do not give me anything unless I specifically request it. Is that clear?
Perfectly clear, monsieur. I will follow your instructions.
Madame, these gentlemen and I have come to an agreement.
That is good news.
We will resolve our differences when the time comes. The matter is settled.
You can count on it, Leclos. But now it is clear that we are fighting the same adversary.
Adversary? You are rather indulgent, Monsieur le Marquis. It seems that you are still fond of him, despite his heinous crimes.
Oh, de grâce.
Truly, the king is no more than a wild beast. And together, in large numbers, we will hunt him down.
Madame, please give the model and the engineering notes to Monsieur de Robespierre. However, you shall hold on to the patents. No one knows what the future may hold.
Let there be peace between you, gentlemen, for there is still much work to be done. We believe we now have a way to destroy the lanterns. Without them, the machines will no longer be able to carry out their sinister task. But it is still just a strategy, which needs to be tested. And even a conclusive experiment will not guarantee our success. Where will we find a working cannon? How will we get more vitriol? How will we make more cannonballs? Please, I ask each of you to set to work without delay. Pour la nation, messieurs.
Pour la nation.
Pour la nation.
Pour la nation.
Here we are, Versailles. I feel a new flame burning inside me. A force that compels me to make my way into the heart of the palace. Athenais. General de Lafayette told me to go this way to enter the gardens, but how could he have managed to make it out alive?
come back to us.
My child. My sweet child.
It's all right, my queen. He's stopped shouting. The doctors are with him.
When will they let me hold him?
Don't worry. I'm sure that...
Oh, look! He's moving! My son! Oh, my son! Grâce à Dieu! We've done it!
He's alive, Gabrielle! Yes, my queen, he has been saved! Praise be to the good Dr. Lemonnier!
Mon Dieu!
What's going on, Gabrielle?
Here! Stand back, Your Majesty! Silence, everyone! Hear my voice!
My child!
Seigneur! Oh, mon Dieu! What on earth? Your Majesty, we must retreat! Leave Monsieur! Go!
Oh, my queen!
Bonjour! Hurry up and close that door!
De Grasse, let me see him!
No, madame, it is over. You must go to Versailles.
No, my son! My darling angel!
Petit Trianon is at the end of this path. I cannot get to it. I'll have to enter the labyrinth.
Our plan is foolproof. Monsieur Cléry will be waiting for you at Gros Caillou at the appointed time. But I warn you, do not be late.
Don't worry, monsieur. I will not fail you.
Very well. As for the rest, everything is explained in this letter. Mesdames, the die is cast. In a week, God willing, you will be in Vienna, and the children under the Emperor's protection.
Quiet, someone is coming. Monsieur, you must leave.
Your Grace. Monsieur, to what do we owe this honor?
Mesdames, we are in grave danger. In Paris, the people are up in arms. I've been informed that the rebels are marching on the palace.
What do you mean?
There is no need to be alarmed. You are to be taken to Saint-Cloud and placed under competent protection. Have your people prepare your things. You will leave Versailles in an hour.
Good heavens, my queen. How will I get to the children? Oh, mon Dieu. All is lost.
Bon sang, Aegis! Here you are at last. You've come at just the right time. Madame, go and find the children. We must get going.
No, no. We can't. I can't.
The children here? At the Petit Trianon?
Yes. They are upstairs in the Queen's room.
General, you and I both know what is coming. You must take them to safety post-haste.
No, I will not leave without Gabrielle.
Madame de Polignac? What happened to her?
Something strange is going on here. The automats will not come within 100 paces.
The King's orders, no doubt. He wants to protect his family from his own automats.
Sadly, Gabrielle got it into her head to explore the area to gauge the size of the enemy forces. The fool. She left so heedlessly that she was captured before our eyes, and we couldn't do anything to help her.
Where did the automats take her?
They went towards the palace.
Run and get the children. They must not remain at Versailles any longer.
Have no fear, Madame. I will take you to a place where all three of you will be safe.
I will help Madame de Polignac.
Dieu te vienne en aide. You are her only hope.
Don't delay, Aegis. Our companions are ready to take the palace as soon as you have destroyed its protectors. I will join you when I have fulfilled my commitment to Her Majesty.
Something has changed. The bond that tied me to the Queen. The force that compelled me to protect her. It's gone. It's been broken.
The Estates General brandish the threat of rebellion. There is plotting afoot. They are stirring up the populace. Worse, they are making pacts. A number of representatives of the nobility and the clergy have taken up the cause of the Third Estate. As for my army, there is not a man among them I can trust. That is why I have made new arrangements for you. From now on, the Swiss Guard will no longer be protecting you.
Then who will, my love?
Take a look for yourself. Be assured you are in sturdier hands.
Whatever do you mean?
Isn't that Claudia? Monsieur Vaucanson's dancing doll?
Appearances can be deceiving, mesdames. The Count has made extraordinary improvements to this automat.
Aegis, this is Her Majesty the Queen. You are now to serve her. Make sure no harm comes to her, and obey the orders she will give you.
Madame, I am at your service.
Partre les saints! He can speak!
This makes no sense. This is sorcery.
Make no mistake, mesdames, it is science, which we owe to the work of the Count. And which will soon be made known to the entire world.
This way. Someone is expecting me. I can feel it. I must prepare for the worst.
You struggle in vain, dancer! You're not long for this world!
Oh, see how the Aegis turns against its master.
You are not my master, tyrant! You never were!
I am quite happy to concede this point, but what about the Count? Have you forgotten that he gave you life and whispered the order that animates you? Look how he runs, the coward! Do you understand what he has in mind? La pauvre enfant, sleeping so sweetly, she won't be dreaming for long now!
Passons! Athenais! Don't move!
The time has come to set you free, Aegis. This whore's soul has poisoned your cogs for too long. Adieu, sad puppet.
No!
Bonté divine, I don't want to die.
Athenais. The sun is rising, and you have slept for far too long. The beauty of this world longs for you, just as you long for its light. We loved each other. Vous en souvient-il? You gave me your heart. So please, let me give you mine today. Vivez heureuse, Athenais. For it is happily that I leave this world.
This way, monsieur.
Monsieur, we have the king. It is now up to us to wield his scepter. In this trying time, crucial decisions must be made without delay.
First and foremost, we must take back Paris.
And how do we do that, mon Dieu? There are automats everywhere, and they are constantly regenerated by their crimes.
My strategy is the only viable solution. Monsieur Laclos' cannonballs filled with vitriol.
And where will we find the means to carry out your plan?
The city of Versailles is full of ateliers and shops. Moreover, as far as we have been able to see, the King's army has barely been deployed there. And it will not be too risky to look around.
Very well. Now, regaining control of Paris depends on our combined efforts.
Mais ensuite, once peace has been restored, what of the kingdom?
This is indeed a crucial issue. leaving the nation without a government would expose it to the greatest danger.
Worse, it would condemn it to civil war.
Eh bien quoi, monsieur? Can you not govern together?
Unfortunately, the disagreements that divide our assembly run far too deep. That which we can agree is that we have been given a chance to choose the person who shall succeed the tyrant.
I claim this honor.
Excuse me? For what reason, je vous prie?
Enfin, simply consider the arguments for it.
Speak, Monsieur le Marquis. You have our full attention.
To begin with, I rescued the Dauphin from his father's clutches and ensured the dynasty's stability. The child will reign as Henri V. We will appoint someone with great wisdom to act as regent until he comes of age.
Fie. The people do not need a crowned puppet.
Yes, they do. Now more than ever before. Once the Assembly has adopted a constitution, the people will welcome a sovereign who will protect it.
A king and a constitution, like oil and water.
Go on, Monsieur le Marquis.
Monsieur, I rest my case.
Very well. Monsieur, we must now make our decision. May each of us respect this decision, and set aside our personal interests for the sake of peace and the common good. Who among you approves the appointment of the Marquis de Lafayette? The court bows before the Marquis de Lafayette, Lieutenant Général du Royaume.
Louis de Bourbon, former King of France, in the name of King Henri, fifth of his name, in light of the innumerable crimes of which you have been found guilty, this extraordinary royal court sentences you to the ultimate atonement. The sentence will be carried out on the hour. In its great mercy, the court will now hear your last words.
My loyal subjects, since you must lead a lamb to the altar, since you must offer a sacrifice to this new France that you intend to found, I will be that sacrifice. How dreadful this world is, where beauty is doomed to fade and flesh decays. I found no consolation in this world. I vainly thought I was giving our souls the gift of immortality beyond our mortal bodies. The Grim Reaper was my sworn enemy. Influenced by the most awful of men, I believed that the genius of machinery could overcome death itself. Alas, I have lost this fight, and am branded with a mark of murderer. Life, even more than the crown, was heavy for me to bear. I have suffered too long under the thumb of nature, which I despised. As a child, I saw my older brother die. I lost my father in the prime of his life, and then my mother, who was even younger. My beloved daughter did not live a year. As for my son, the first of my heirs, I unknowingly gave him to drink from a poisoned cup. I mourn the death of these poor souls daily. My death will not unite us, of this I am certain. For I, in my misery, have lost the support of my faith. Sir Executioner, lay me down on this board, Vertu. I will sleep now. Sleep at last, and not to dream.